Our first guest tonight is an Emmy Award-winning writer and comedian you know from the Carmichael shows and films such as Neighbors and Poor Things. New episodes of Gerard Carmichael reality show air Friday nights at 11 on HBO and stream on Max. Let's take a look.
I meet him. Why you get quiet when I say I meet him?
Oh, I mean, you know, I don't think you really, I don't know if you have like a real, I think you would do it. I don't think you necessarily want to. I mean, that's nice, you know. You want to see a picture of him?
You got one on?
That's him out the shower the other day.
Please welcome back to the show our friend Gerard Carmichael, everybody. Welcome back.
I'm happy to be here. You make this very comfortable.
Well, I'm glad to have you here.
It's the most comfortable version of an insane thing. This is insane. I forget, like, oh, y'all are here. Fred is here, so it's a special day. Hi, Fred.
Hi, how you doing?
I was trying to think of names for the truck.
I know.
I got nothing.
It's hard. A lot of times, Fred comes up with ideas that are very hard to put a name on.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I was watching the show, like, in the dressing room. It was on mute. And so I was guessing a lot of things. All I saw was a picture of Clarence Thomas. Then I blinked. Then I saw an Oreo. And I was like, oh, man, Seth's really going for it tonight. Like, Seth's really, like, I was like, wow. Like,
based on that, we're going to have to start putting signs up in the green room that said no blinking.
Yeah. I was like, man, I don't know where this Oreo came from, but I can't wait to hear it.
You have a very exciting announcement. You just finished watching The Sopranos for the first time.
Yeah, you heard?
I heard.
Oh, yeah. No.
And you have so much going on. It's very impressive that you fit that in.
It's the greatest show. I don't know if y'all watched. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened in the world. It's like, yeah,
exciting.
give it up for The Sopranos.
Isn't it exciting that you could wait that long? And many would think, I feel like I missed the Sopranos train, but it is one of those shows you can go back and watch.
No, it's like reality to me. Like, it's so, because I think anything well done is like a documentary.
Sure.
So like, this is like a documentary of an Italian family in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And it's so rich and entertaining. It was actually one season where Steve Buscemi was in it. And I was like, man, I hope they kill him because he's taking me out of the documentary. Like, I know Steve.
Oh, you were like, I don't like when I see an actor that.
Yeah. Like, I know. Get back to the doc. Like, I
now,
love
I have to ask, the ending, had the ending been spoiled for you? Because I think that that's maybe one price you pay for watching it later.
Yeah, I remember my manager, Lou Anselmo, when I worked at a shoe store in North Carolina, so this was 25 years ago. Like, he was just like just pissed off
about the finale.
About the end. But I actually really loved it. I thought it was great. This spoils nothing. It like actually puts you in Tony's shoes. The scene is so well done. I loved it.
So basically, for 25 years, all you knew about the finale is it made your manager Lou Anselmo mad.
Yeah. He was mad. He came back. He was like, "What the was that?" He was like mad.
This is amazing because the last time you were here, we were talking about Rothaniel, which is an incredible stand-up special. Very confessional, very raw, very, authentic. And yet now you have a show which maybe even goes a little bit farther than Rothaniel, the Gerard reality show. Tell us a little bit about what made you think this was the next step in your progression of, I guess, honesty, right?
Yeah. Like, well, I'm needy. And I really want to be seen and accepted, but also have a deep fear of that. So I made a reality show because it's the fastest way to like I'm afraid of heights, so I went skydiving. And so I'm afraid of being seen, so I made a reality show. So like the clip that you saw, it's this episode. I went on a road trip with my dad. And like my dad's from the South, and like he's got a gay son, whatever. You know, like in the episode, it's gonna seem like elder abuse because my dad's old now. Like it's gonna seem like I'm Tony and my dad's Uncle Junior, but emotionally, he's Tony and I'm AJ.
Yeah.
You
Oh, I
gotta
see.
remember
Gotcha.
that. Yeah.
Good to remember.
Yeah, but I wanted him to meet my boyfriend. My boyfriend's gonna get pissed when he sees this because it's he had never asked, and like, you know, they don't really talk about me being gay. So like, I just showed him a picture of my boyfriend fresh out the shower, and like, my dad's just like 65. He don't know what to do with that. Like, he's just like looking. The whole episode is pretty fun. Like,
It
more of that.
does sound like elder abuse.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering, right? Like, so you're, your dad is processing having a gay son, and you're like, you want to see a picture of my boyfriend,
Yeah.
and like, I feel like you probably have some pictures where he's not fresh out of the shower. So you make a choice there,
That's
right?
what my boyfriend said. He was like, of all the, I actually thumbed through, like, just fully clothed. I was like, no, he's hot here. I'm gonna show you, like. I just want to show my dad why I fell in love.
Well, there you go. You were being honest.
But I am needy. I do want to be seen. Like, you know, even with the show, what's been cool about showing something that's so like such an X-ray and like showing the true. I hate the expression warts and all, but I am showing really embarrassing, uncomfortable things in my life on the show, and it makes me feel confident because like if I can show that, like. There's nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide from anybody ever now, like out in the world. So I feel really happy with that. But it's hard, like week to week, like to have to like relive some of these moments.
Well, that's interesting you say that because you're not sitting in the edit, right? So you're kind of, when you see the episode, it's really for you maybe only the second time you're seeing it, when you lived it and then seeing how it cuts together.
I stay out of the editing room because I'll take out all the good stuff. Like, I'll be really precious and I'll take out the things that make me look bad, but the show wouldn't be good. You know what I mean? Like.
So it's interesting. You had an interesting sort of, the vanity goes two ways. One, if you actually saw it, you'd cut it out. But you also want your show to be good, so you want to leave it in. Who convinced you, like, don't go to the editing room?
Honestly, Bill Cosby. It was. It was advice I got from Bill Cosby. He said, stay out of the editing room.
All right.
He told me that, and then I never talked to him again. I think he went to jail or something, but whatever.
Oh, man, I definitely wasn't expecting that one.
No, I didn't want to lie. But no, it's hard because it's all the uncomfortable things.
Yeah. It's
really hard to say uncomfortable things. Like now I'm like trying to warm up into this interview. Like I don't want to go over time because these things, like again, you make me feel comfortable, but like usually I want to say something, I'll say something inappropriate, you know, and like I'm trying to be appropriate here.
I mean, I feel like you crossed that Rubicon. I think do whatever you want.
Well, honestly, I'll tell you a quick story. Like,
okay, great.
Because like I be wanting to talk about sex all the time, and the show is a lot of sex, and the internet's responding in a way that's just like, oh my God, like I got like somebody's foot in my mouth, and like people are just like, Jesus, it's a lot of sex, and like I remember I did the last season of Ellen. Y'all remember Ellen?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, of course you remember. Like it was the last season before she got mean too.
Yep.
Yeah, it happened. Like the internet found out a 60-year-old lesbian wasn't always nice.
They didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with that. They were like, what? Yeah. No. But I was so excited to do Ellen because Ellen meant a lot to me growing up because Ellen came out at a really, really difficult time.
She sure did.
Kind of like in the 90s, and she lost everything. And then she fought back, got a new show, and my mom played her, and that was a form of acceptance. Like my mom allowed Ellen into the home, so I felt really excited going onto a show because I have so much admiration for her, and she's also an incredible comic and like really funny. So I was really, really excited. So I'm doing Ellen, and you know, it's the studio audience like this, and like, you know, you're there, and I'm trying to be comfortable in the moment, and I'm talking to Ellen, and it's mostly, I'll give the abridged version. It's like, you know, blah, 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 gay, and the audience is like, ah, and Ellen's like, blah, 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 yeah, I'm gay, and the audience is like, yeah, and everyone's just, it's so warm and fuzzy, and like, I'm feeling more and more comfortable, and I was like, again, being seen, I like want to talk about things, and I was talking about being in therapy, and how like I'm exploring a lot of things in therapy, and Ellen was asking about my love life, and she asked if I was seeing anybody, and I thought it was a good time to make a joke. So I was like, you know, Ellen, it's funny you mentioned that, because I actually recently realized in therapy that if a guy doesn't somehow remind me of my mom, I can't get nothing. The audience went silent. The boom mic operator pulled the mic away from my face. I looked over to Ellen for support. She was just like, Jesus Christ. And then it got cut out of the show.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
We'll see if it makes it in this. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it'll definitely make it. It is funny when I think about it, like how many moms were in that Ellen audience. Like they're all.
Yeah.
A lot of them were doing math.
I realized
like,
it was 2 PM in Burbank, and I was like, oh, this has no place. But it's hard to talk about.
Well, it is. I mean, I have a real appreciation for you because, you know, again, that show for me is conversations I've never heard people having.
Yeah.
And I've always liked that about, you know, from your sitcom to your specials to this, it's been an incredible progression of like how open you've been. So I really feel like a beneficiary of it. And I appreciate you in a way that Burbank audience didn't. And I invite
I
you
hope
back.
y'all watch the show. It's
really
on
something.
Fridays.
It's really
We
special.
got 7 more weeks of it. It's on HBO, the same channel as The Sopranos.
Yeah, look at it.
Yeah.
Call back. Thank you, buddy. Great to have you. That's Gerard Carmichael, everybody. Gerard Carmichael reality show airs Friday nights at 11 on HBO and streams on Max. We'll be right back with Stephanie Rule.